On a busy roadside, beside a forklift, a truck tire being inflated suddenly ruptures under pressure, turning a routine task into a dangerous blast zone in seconds. Always use a tire inflation cage or safety barrier when inflating large truck tires. Maintain a safe distance. Never stand directly in front of or over the tire. Road workers repaint a crosswalk at a busy intersection when a truck tire suddenly rolls loose into the work zone. Never, ever allow roadside work to proceed without full traffic control measures and protected barriers separating workers from active traffic lanes. A detached truck wheel carries large momentum because of its heavy mass and rolling speed. Its circular shape allows it to stay upright and travel long distances with very little resistance on smooth pavement. Small surface changes or impacts can easily redirect its path, making its movement unpredictable. Without brakes or steering control, the wheel continues rolling until friction, obstacles, or terrain finally stop it. Loose vehicle components can become fast-moving hazards. Protected work zones keep workers out of the danger path. Two workers stand inside the truck bed while a crane lowers a massive bundle of bamboo sticks. Then the suspended load suddenly shifts. Do stay completely clear of the truck bed and landing zones and guide suspended loads from a safe distance using proper taglines and designated lifting zones. On a rooftop job site, a worker stands on a red flatbed truck as a suspended steel beam hangs overhead and the balance suddenly disappears. Do establish a hard exclusion zone and never allow anyone on vehicles or under loads while lifting operations are active. Suspended loads behave like pendulums when supported by crane rigging. Even small shifts in rigging tension, wind, or load alignment can create lateral motion that rapidly increases swing force. If that force exceeds the stability limits of nearby structures or vehicles, the swinging load can push, shift, or overturn nearby equipment within seconds. If a load is in the air, the ground below becomes a danger zone. Clear the space, secure the lift, and let physics work safely, not uncontrolled. Inside a machine shop, a long steel rod spins inside a lathe until the unsupported length begins to flex and whip unpredictably. Always secure long rotating workpieces with proper supports and never ever operate a lathe when the material extends beyond safe stability limits. Outside a restaurant patio, a worker climbs an extension ladder to reach the canopy above. Do not use an extension ladder that is not fully secured and stabilized at both the base and the top. A residential courtyard, a ladder leaning from a balcony railing to a small rooftop shifts slightly, turning the climb into a sudden balance hazard. Never, ever rely on an unsecured ladder when walking between two structures at height. At a construction site, a stacked temporary platform suddenly shifts and collapses when its support gives way. Never, ever leave stacked construction materials or temporary structures unsecured where they can shift, tip, or collapse near active work areas. A site dumper edges along a soft dirt road near a trench, and in seconds, the ground beneath one side suddenly gives way. Always maintain a safe setback distance from excavation edges and never, ever operate heavy equipment on ground that has not been verified for stability. When soil is removed to create a trench or excavation, the surrounding ground loses part of the support that once held it in place. The soil at the edge becomes a temporary overhang, relying only on internal friction and compaction to stay stable. Heavy equipment adds concentrated load to this weakened zone, pushing vertical pressure into soil that is already close to failure. As the truck's weight shifts toward the edge, the stress inside the soil increases until the ground can no longer resist the load. Excavation edges are hidden danger zones. Distance from the edge is a critical safety control. A roadside stall sits just inches from passing traffic. Then suddenly, a car veers off the roadway and heads straight toward it. Never ever place seating or work areas directly exposed to an active roadway without a solid physical barrier between people, full, and moving vehicles. A car moving at road speed carries significant kinetic energy due to its mass and velocity. If the driver loses control, the vehicle can quickly leave its lane and continue forward along its momentum path. Without barriers like steel bollards, guardrails, or concrete blocks, there is nothing to absorb or redirect that energy. Traffic energy does not stop at the edge of the road. Physical barriers are the only reliable shield between vehicles and roadside spaces. On loose gravel behind a dump truck, unstable footing and vehicle movement combine when the truck suddenly lurches forward. Never ever allow workers to stand, climb, or assist near a vehicle that has not been fully stopped, secured, and stabilized during loading or unloading operations. A man works beside an aging brick wall in a quiet courtyard when it suddenly begins to give way as its structure loses stability. Always assess the structural stability of aging masonry before working nearby, and never ever assume an old wall will remain stable without inspection. Reinforcement. A compact excavator climbs onto a flatbed trailer using wooden ramps when the ramp suddenly gives way. Heavy equipment concentrates extreme force where the tracks meet the ramp. Only rated loading ramps can safely support that load. Heavy machinery concentrates thousands of pounds of force onto a small contact area where the tracks meet the ramp. If the ramp material lacks structural strength, the load exceeds its capacity and the support fails instantly, shifting the machine's center of gravity. Loading ramps must match the weight of the equipment. Always use rated steel ramps designed for heavy machinery loading. A worker leans toward the open tailgate of a dump truck to look inside when another truck suddenly rolls backward. Always secure parked trucks with the parking brake fully applied and wheel chocks installed to prevent unintended movement. Never ever place yourself between vehicles or behind moving tailgates during loading, unloading, or inspection operations, and always maintain a clear escape path when working around heavy vehicles. Inside a busy factory aisle, a forklift nudges a tall metal rack and the entire structure suddenly begins to tip. Never ever operate a forklift near tall, unstable loads without ensuring they are balanced, secured, and clear of nearby workers. Forklifts can easily destabilize tall racks, cages, or stacked frames if the forks contact them at the wrong height or angle. Tall structures have a high center of gravity, meaning a small push at the base can shift their balance point. Once that center of gravity moves outside the support base, gravity quickly pulls the structure into a full tip-over. Tall loads can fall faster than anyone can react. Keep distance from forklifts and never stand near unstable racks. Inside a workshop, a large machine component hangs above, while a roller beneath the suspended load suddenly bursts under the weight. Do keep a safe distance from suspended loads and ensure the equipment is fully secured and stable before approaching or adjusting anything near it. Inside a vehicle workshop, a mechanic signals a driver to move an SUV forward when the vehicle suddenly lurches across the shop floor. Never ever stand directly in the path of a moving vehicle inside a workshop while guiding it. Always guide from the side with a clear escape route. Vehicle guidance should always be done from a safe offset position with clear escape space. Even a small press on the accelerator can create rapid forward torque through the drivetrain. Because vehicles weigh over a ton, that momentum builds quickly and can carry the vehicle several meters before it stops. Guiding vehicles requires distance and escape space. Never position yourself in the direct path of a moving vehicle. Inside a warehouse, a forklift begins reversing along the marked path, while a roller beneath the suspended load suddenly bursts under the weight. Always check the full rear clearance and never ever reverse a forklift in a warehouse aisle until the entire path behind is confirmed clear of materials and obstacles. At a scrapyard workshop entrance, a worker strikes a welding arc near a standing argon gas cylinder. Seconds later, a high-pressure white jet blasts from the cylinder across the yard. Never ever strike a welding arc or create electrical sparks on or near a pressurized gas cylinder. The intense heat of a welding arc can rapidly weaken pressurized cylinder steel. If the wall fails, the escaping high-pressure gas turns the cylinder into an uncontrolled jet source. Gas cylinders are pressure vessels. Treat them like loaded energy systems. Keep welding arcs, sparks, and heat sources far away from cylinders at all times. On a construction delivery truck, don't forget to share what you learned today in the comments. Your insight could save a life. Take care.